suspended, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Boy, am I live? Of course I'm live. People deluded, I'm back again now. You can see by the title, Arsenal 1, Manchester City 3, Manchester City 3, Arsenal 1. Please make sure you're offering your own opinions via commenting, smashing the like button, subscribing and turning on your notification bells. Now, before anything, you must be gracious in defeat. Credit to Manchester City. They weren't necessarily at their best, but they've walked away with Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland and Jack Grealish scoring, and they've shown why they're good. They've got the job done. They've defeated someone who's rivaling them for the Premier League trophy. Obviously, they've reacted to the setback of a bit of an inconsistent Buki penalty being given. They've won the game. They've taken points off their rivals. They've shown the game management. They've shown the ability to exploit silly mistakes in their opposition. That's why they've got 3 points. Now, our last 3 games, City in this reverse fixture last season, in the FA Cup and today, there are positives, but fundamentally it's the same consistency in that we haven't won. You know, they've ended our unbeaten record at the Emirates. We've not won in 10 prior to this game. Now we've not beaten them in 11. Boy, it is what it is, man. And this is why personally I've never got behind a title challenge. Not to be negative, mathematically it's still possible. You still have a game in hand on City. You know, in relation to the Champions League qualification, we cannot feel sorry for ourselves because it could be better. Lord knows it could have been better today. Could have been better against Everton. Could have been better against Brentford. Could have been better against Southampton, against Manchester United away from home, and Newcastle at home, and anywhere else we've dropped points. But fundamentally, it is what it is. We've lost. And it's disappointing because as great as City are, we've handed them goals. I don't think anyone was terrible. I think it was another case of the good, bad, and the ugly. And this is why I think we're too immature to win a title. I don't think we're there yet. There's a lot of positives. And I hope this season, regardless of where it ends for Arsenal, provided that it's in the top 2 league positions, maybe third and fourth, that this sets down a precursor. This is not an anomaly of a season. This is now where we're arriving. We've made some fantastic improvements as a football club, definitely considering where we were last year. But if we're judging it on title contenders, we're not there. Title contenders get the job done. They arrest their slump in form, which this is, to be fair, the only arresting in form we haven't done. I think Gabriel and Tomiyasu were decent today, but fundamentally, when it's mattered, we've made mistakes. And for a team that is so good playing out from the back, they've pressed us into that mistakes to go with brain farts in decision making. They're not alone. There was a number of stray passes. At the end of the day, it's not revolutionary. We know this about football, people. It's, you know, it's played in the middle and it's decided in both boxes. I think we went toe-to-toe in midfield. There were times City were on top and, you know, in the second half, there was a lot of gaps and we showed our immaturity and whatnot. But at the same time, you know, we weren't clinical enough. We scored. Our only shot on target was a penalty from Bukayo Saka. There was a couple of half chances that fell to Eddie Nketiah. I feel Xhaka's decision-making in and around City's box let us down. But we didn't do enough. We didn't put Edison under any real pressure. The problems we only really saw with Edison was his time wasting, knocking it into the channels. And even that, City have arrested their terrible away form. They actually lost 2 games on the road. They've arrested that. For us, no winning 5 in all comps, a potential 9 points available in the last 3 games in the Premier League. We've taken 1. You don't become a good team overnight. You don't become a bad one. We need to stop feeling sorry for ourselves and arrest these mistakes. Let's be absolutely real. There's been times our immaturity, and you lot that were part of my watch along, I said I'm watching Arsenal in the last half an hour of games because that is where we throw it away. At 2-1, I said the third one is coming because you could see it. We're being a bit too childish. We're letting them get under our skin. We've handed them the first one. We reacted to the first one as we've been doing all season. We've handed them goals. They've pressed us into their mistakes. We've made some silly mistakes. We haven't been clinical in the final third. We've gone through patches in that game where we were the team on top. You know, we did dominate possession, but you've got to correlate that to scoring. It is what it is, really. You know, granted, Xhaka, quality player, been quality this season. But I think if Partey's fit, I'm going with Jorginho and Partey. Prior to the game, I did say I wanted to see Tomiyasu because Ben White's been poor. Tomiyasu has to hold his hands up today. I did say if Xhaka puts in a poor performance today, I'm leaning towards Jorginho and Partey if fit against Aston Villa because our form isn't there. We have to arrest it. If we won today, it would have been great. But the planning starts with Villa. We have to react because Emre don't care. You know, Emre don't care. And it's down to these players. Is this going to be a blip or is this going to be how you get out of it? We need to go back to basics, defending properly, attacking and being clinical, taking every game as it comes, keeping our feet on the ground. There's still a lot to play for. There's still a lot of points available. Man City will win the league, in my opinion. Of course, I'd love to be wrong. It is, well, it is, people. If I go all the way back to the first half, for me, I feel the first 10 minutes we made a good start. I think City were time wasting from early. I think we weren't winning enough first and second balls. I think Saliba and Gabriel did well against Haaland on the large part. Haaland can have a good game and they can as well, excluding the mistakes. Couple of loose passes. Now, Tomiyasu and Gabriel were the victims of being caught on that. But we've made these mistakes. A lot of what you saw in the game that went negatively, we've done that in games we've won. Brighton, to a degree, Wolves, Southampton, which we didn't win. Manchester United, home and away. When the minutes we've conceded, the way we've conceded, and the naiveties around conceding. You know, so these are things that need to get out of our game. We're far too immature, and fundamentally, it's another City defeat and it's silly mistakes. Transition in within the 20-minute period, I think we're giving the ball away very cheaply. I felt 20 minutes in, Man City started to control the game. I think City were very good off the ball. Obviously, Edison was trying his best to get booked. Grealish was rattling. Bernardo Silva should have been booked a long time ago. Kyle Walker was doing his nonsense as well. I mean, it seems to be only Arsenal get punished for surrounding the ref, innit? As I said, 20 minutes in, there was sloppy passes going unpunished by City, and that was almost a sign of things to come. I did think City kind of limited the passing lanes. One love to Jorginho. I think you was a bright spot today, and 2 degrees Zinchenko. I think approaching the 20 to 30th minute mark, we needed to be a bit more braver. Obviously, Tomiyasu's playing blind passes. Every day of the week, that pass probably comes off or just put it out for a throw. He's gambled and we've lost. Ramsdale looks like he's anticipating a pass from Tomiyasu, but if I'm clinical and harsh, I don't know why you're out there. De Bruyne is a great player and he's shown why. He's chipped it into the back of the net. Clean sheet gone. We reacted well. Bit of a dodgy penalty in Wenger fashion. I didn't see the build up to the pen. I think my Amazon Prime cut out. I just woke up to see Saka scoring. We're back in the game at that point. And I did think we kind of ended the first half strong, excluding where obviously City almost scored. I think they hit the bar. It was dodgy. I think it's come off Tomiyasu, then Ake, and then it's hit the bar. That might have been the same way that Jorginho cleared an effort off the line, if I'm honest. City are frustrating us. They're doing the dark hearts. They're taking this thing out of the game. There's many things we could learn from that City game. They've walked the walk. City team, sorry. They've walked the walk, the game as well. But as I was saying, they've walked the walk we'd hope to live in it. Half chances. Eddie's had a couple half chances. Yeah, he could do better, but we're not creating enough and testing Edison at home. I think obviously Tomiyasu had a chance very early after making that mistake where he's shown why he's a defender and probably a more old school sort of defender. And at half time, as I said, City are trying to frustrate us. They're time wasting. They're taking this thing out of the game. They're actually pressing us very well. And you can see the experience. It's like they're setting up traps to take advantage. I do think Saliba's doing well. At times, Tomiyasu isn't there defensively. I feel it's a fairly even contest at this point. There was a good reaction from us. I think Zinchenko and Jorginho look the ones I'm like, okay, you lot are here to stay. Lovely to see Saka is scoring. I think Martinelli's not playing as bad as some people are making out, but you want to see a lot more. I think there was a couple of occasions, even prior to Tomiyasu's mistake, where we were very sloppy. You know, if I'm harsh, Bernardo, Walker, Rodri, they're trying their best to get booked. I would like to see Odegaard a bit more. He is purring, but it's not quite enough. Half chances, not really creation, not really putting that City defense under any real pressure. I think Saka and Bernardo Silva had a decent battle out there. I think both teams pressed really well and held their shape really well at halftime. We've had half chances, we've just not taken them. And at halftime, we've had 7 shots, 1 on target. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target. 60-40 in Arsenal's favour in terms of possession. 253 passes from them, 253 passes from us, 174 from them. They've had 2 corners to our 1. So I do think to go with Jorginho, I can't praise him enough for his display today, because if he had a terrible performance, everyone would have drew him out. So we need to keep it like that. Second half, I don't think we came out well enough. I think, City were creating all the openings. They were taking control of the game. We did look a bit flat. We looked a bit tired. We looked like we was creeping into old habits. There were a couple of occasions when we did wake up in the second half. Jorginho found Eddie, who maybe could have done better. Eddie couldn't get onto a lovely half chance from Tomiyasu as well. Obviously, Jorginho helped us out a bit. I think both teams are getting a bit tired and there's plenty of space starting to develop. There was a couple of times we just needed to put our foot through it, and ultimately, Gabriel's gambled, and from a stupid effort, we've been caught against the run of play. Not a single midfielder's dropped in. Tomiyasu has to engage with the nearest man. Naturally, Saka's not switched on, and Grealish is free. He's put it in the back of the net, people. Then obviously, Xhaka, you've got to bring your man down there. I don't even know if he's on the yellow card, but Xhaka doesn't bring his man down. If I can remember correctly, Trossard could have done better as well. Once again, we're not following runners. Haaland's done what Haaland's done. He's finally bagged against the top 6 side, and that's the game gone, really. 3-1. This is why I ultimately feel, wow, we can still fight. We're too mature to win the league, but what we can do is finish as high as we can, keep learning and keep going. And at the end of the day, you need to get on with it. You know, we've lost the City now. It's gone, innit? There's still a lot to play for. There's every reason to cry. There's every reason to be optimistic. And fundamentally, in the same way the players put themselves in this position for this to even be a damn talking point, they've got to get themselves out of it. Ultimately, I think there was too many indifferent moments of play. It doesn't matter about playing well in stages or going toe-to-toe in stages. You need to win the game. And in the last 3 games against City, including today, we've come up short despite it being less of a battering sort of, but you know, God knows what the aggregate scoreline is where City have played us. We didn't take our chances. We, you know, in their final third, in our final third, or defending our box, we were silly. They scored. Very emotional at times, that we're letting City get under our skin. We had too many brainless moments. We lacked cutting edge in key moments. Again, any personnel we could have hoped for, any lack of midfield control that and the quality number 8 would bring, or a striker with a different profile on the bench or starting. We signed up for this when we did or didn't do things in January or the summer, really. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of positives to take, but fundamentally we lost, so we just got to get on with it, really. That's all I've got to say, people. On that note, make sure you're checking out the rest of my reaction vids and my thoughts. Please let me know your own thoughts, either when this video premieres and also in the comment section, people. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. We're going live at 11:30 to react to any Arsenal talking points that emerge from tonight till obviously 11:30 a.m. tomorrow UK time. Also on that topic as well, people, don't forget Barcelona versus Man United. Watch along business. Most importantly, you lot stay blessed, stay safe, appreciative of you lot tuning in. Make sure you check out the end screens at the end of this vid. Let me know your thoughts. It is what it is. I'm off to watch the game again, actually.
There's always just that active red line defending.
I think it's like